Apologies for the lack of sound so far, but we are now live with the first heat of the men's 100 metres. First heat, we've got a very strong lineup. We've got a couple of 10-4 guys in there. Muslim Habib as well from University of Birmingham with a 10-6 personal best, another strong contender, as well as another BUAC athlete in lane 2 there, Danny Lamb. We'll obviously look to give you the full rundown of all the start lists for races going forwards, but we've just had a few issues with the stream as the athletes settle into their blocks. And we get away cleanly first time. Danny Lamb out strong, as well as the athletes in lane 4 and 5. Empty lane in lane 6, athlete in lane 5. Mohammed comes through, takes the win. We know it began with a 10, we're not quite sure in the exact clocking. Unfortunately the clock hasn't stopped for us, but definitely looked a strong run. Get the results through for you shortly. So whilst we wait for the results to come through, I guess it's worth mentioning we have a lot of field action also going on at the same time. All kicks off at 5:30. So our 3 events that we have going on at the moment are the hammer throw, the junior shot put, and then the high jump with a 1:30 start height. We'll bring you the latest updates, but there was a very strong field in the hammer, which I'm keen to get you results for. Currently leading the way is Harry Ricketts of Reading with a best of 60 metres 66. I believe just shy of his PB of 62.07, but a strong athlete currently ranked 2nd in the UK for under 20s. So here is the overview of the full timetable. I just mentioned the field events going on right now. Unfortunately weren't quite live for the 400 metre hurdles, but they were recorded, so you will be able to go back on the stream later in the evening and watch those back. So we've just seen the first heat of the open 100 metres. We have 4 in total. After that we have an open 300 metre hurdle race. We've got 2 heats to that. Following that we've got we got a field event in the open discus, as well as a very strong 400 metre heat. The name that jumps off the page there is Ben Higgins, GB senior representative at the World Indoor Championships this winter. You can see we have a few 400 metre races for you. And then later in the evening we get onto the BMC Gold Standard events. That's starting at 7 o'clock, starting with the men's 800 metres, followed by the women's. Following that we have some 1500 metre races, again part of that BMC Gold Standard. And then a very strong triple jump actually at 7:30, featuring the likes of BUAC's Josh Woods, Josh Knox, as well as Jahisha Thomas, who will be going for the England Commonwealth Games standard of 13 metres 65. So heat 2 of the open 100 metres. Just going to get the line up for you. In lane 1, Ben McIntyre of University of Birmingham, as well as we've also got Oscar Frost and Jamie Warman on the outside of him. Following that we've got Sean Brown Webber, Alex Huchin, Dan Hindle, Brandon Walton, and then Josh Pearson on the outside. So the athletes take to their blocks in this second heat. Standout favourites in this race are Sean Brown Webber, 11.2 seconds as their personal best, but we've got strong athletes throughout. Like I say, a good BUAC representation as well. We get away first lane. Oscar Frost looking strong in lane 2, and in lane 4 we have Sean Webber Brown taking the win. Heartbreak for Alex Huchin in lane 5, who looks to be suffering with some injury trouble. Not quite sure what's happened to him, but understandably looking pretty distraught. So again, we'll be looking to get you the results for that as soon as we can. So update on the high jump as well. We're looking at the bar is at 155, I believe. Lily Holt having gone clearing 155. Not too shy of her best. A multi-eventer from, a high jump hurdles athlete from the University of Birmingham, as well as Alice Lineker has gone 150, lining up for her third attempt at 150 now. And she gets over it, third time of asking. Alice is a multi-event here at the University of Birmingham with a PB close to 170, so she'd be really pleased to have got over 155, and we actually have live pictures of that now, so I'm sure that would be a big sigh of relief for her. So we're going to bring you some results from earlier, the first heat of the open 400 metre hurdles. You see, we unfortunately had a couple of DNSs, but the first heat was won by S.A. Okoro with a season's best time of 58.54. In second, Ben McIntyre of BUAC, 58.63. In third, Chris Perry, also dipping under 1 minute with a time of 59.81. And Hermione Mason in fourth with 1 minute, 3 seconds, 0.18. And then heat 2 finished with James Webster with the victory, a very strong time of 52.5. Jack Houghton just behind him with a time of 55.59. Unfortunately, we did have a faller in the shape of Benjamin Akayu Vincio. Sorry if I got that name wrong, but unfortunately fell, I believe, at hurdle 8, so disappointing for him, as we see Lily Holt fail her first attempt at 160 in the high jump. Guess it's worth saying the conditions are looking wonderful today for our second meet, our second track and field open series meet of the year. The sun is shining, the wind is behind the athletes in the sprints. I'm hearing a time of a wind speed of 1.7 meters per second behind the athletes, which is about perfect, I would say, with the legal limit being 2 meters per second. Watching Alice in the high jump quickly. Struggling to see the bar, but I'm not sure she got over it. Anyway, heat 3 of the open 100 meters. Here's the lineup. Lane 1, Erin Healy. Lane 2, Zoe Alstridge. Hannah Jones in third. As the starter recalls them from their blocks, gives us a bit more time. So Hannah Jones, the BUAC athlete, in lane 3. Stephanie Robertson, lane 4. Danny Hales, lane 5. Harry Fallon in lane 6. And then Dominic Moy-Nahan in 7. Again, great to see such a strong BUAC representation in this race. Looks like we have a few non-starters. So starter showing a green card, sorry, hopefully not throwing the green card, that'd be unfortunate. A few non-starters, lane 1 it looks like, lane 5, 6, so possibly the favourites in this race we're looking at. Hannah Jones of BUAC and Steph Robinson of BUAC as well. And we get away cleanly first time. Looked like Steph just took a slight stumble, but looking strong as she gets upright. Hannah Jones now picking up speed 60 metres through the race, both finishing strong. Hannah and Steph very tight on the line, possibly too close to call. Zoe Alstridge as well from BUAC coming in a close third, so a very tight race between the BUAC athletes. Struggled to see who the other athlete was. It was Dominic Moynihan of BUAC Athletics Club. Just an under 13, so great to see some young athletes coming out here and competing today. So we go back over to the high jump. So news to bring you that we've had Lily Holt go clear at 160. Alice Lineker preparing for her third and final attempt at 160. Remember, Alice has got a personal best just shy of 1m70, so certainly hoping to be getting over 160, and a good battle as well between the two BUAC athletes. Alice Lineker just still preparing, speaking to high jump coach Julian Reed. Attempt over at the high jump. I couldn't see where, I think the lack of applause would suggest that she was unsuccessful, but unfortunately, yeah, corner. Third attempt. Say a very, very strong multi-eventer will be two of the UK in Sophie McKenna. Strickler, and we've also teen weight looking at European under 18 qualifying standards, so a very strong shot put later on in the evening. And for the final, just a rundown of the line: Georgia Hewitt in lane 2, Brianna Jacobs lane 3, Isabel Carruthers just outside, Madeline Down, Phoebe Rubin lane 7 with. Again, great to see local representation throughout. I think West Midlands here with Birchfield Harriers, BUAC, BRAT, which is Birmingham Running and Triathlon Club, and Hale Zone all represented. 6th place, Eddie Fusi, 11:06, and in 7th, Max Millerchamp with 11:29. So a lot of very, very quick clockings there. Wow. Wow. Very, very strong 100 meters. Again, very, very strong 100 meters. Again, very disappointing with the win just being above the allowable limit. That is a real shame, but only just had as well another 2-meter jumper, a Bucks finalist this year. So very, very strong high jump lineup. So whilst we wait for Lily to take her first attempt at the next height, interested to see what that is, we have the results from the Heat 2 of the 100 metres. Sean Brown-Webber in first place with a result of 11.3 seconds. Oscar Frost just behind him with a time of 11:54. Brandon Walton recomposed and put out a good attempt at 170, again matching her best, so really good work from Lily. So we've actually been joined by none other than Hannah England, who will be reading you the start list for the 300-metre hurdles.
Thanks, Jake. I'll give you a break. You've been doing a lot. So we've got Benhair Tishobler and Isabel Carruthers. So 300 hurdles is an event at the English schools. So these girls might be trying to get that qualifying time. Just had a quick look at that. It's 46.8 would be the entry standard for the English schools. So it's officials are saying they aren't ready. One official said they were ready, the other one said they weren't. So they're just going to check the hurdles. They're saying the weight's in the wrong place in the hurdles. So they're just going to sort that out before they get this 300-metre hurdles underway. But so is it just intergirls that do 3 hurdles? And then senior, they'd go up to 400 hurdles?
I believe so, yeah. Senior, definitely 400-metre hurdles. I'm unsure about junior girls. I don't know if there's a long hurdles race for them, but...
I couldn't see an entry standard for it. online. Only a 300 hurdle. Our camera people are nodding at me. The intergirls 300 hurdles. Senior girls do 400 metre hurdles. But yeah, it's quite a rarely run event because it's not a big age group that does it, but really nice stepping stone. That's what they do at the English schools, especially with the 1500 metre steeplechase before they move on to 2k and 3k as they get a little bit older.
65 on her third attempt, so really strong from the BUAC athlete. Again, close to her personal best of 170. Great to see. Alice Lineker, the multi-eventer, going in the shot put later with 155. Daisy Burton coming in third with a height of 150. We have Anna Roghosa with another 150 result as well, and Jaden Allen Bramble coming in at fifth with a height of 1.40 m. And results for the final open 100 metre heat. We had Freya Smith take the win with a time of 13.23. Georgia second with a time of 13.28. Madeline Down in third, 13.51. Isabel the Ruben 14.5.
Women's shot put. We've got Sophie McKinnon and Amelia Strickler. They're both on the entry list. You kind of hope they're definitely going to turn up. And Sophie McKinnon has some travel issues getting here from Hengelo, but she is on.
That we the UK athletics scene differently. Almost fifth. We have Giuseppe Luigi Bonaficio with a PB of 50.15. Mark Roberts in four, a personal best of 48.4. Christian Byram, local athlete, trains here at the track, a 400-800 athlete. Likes to do the double, so we can see him in lane 5. Ben Higgins, as mentioned, in lane 6. Sam Nelson, lane 7, and then Jake Williamson in lane 8. So a really, really strong lineup, and that's great.
But we'll see. It's looking good so far tonight.
Cool. And as you can see on screen now, we have the start list for the discus throw, which kicks off in just under 10 minutes time. I'll quickly run through the athletes. We've got Dave Russell.
But I think that's Nicholas Landau in second place. First place at the moment of the runners rather than the pacemakers. That's Sean Gee. Fifth at Bucks. That was such a tight race. Everyone was flooded with lactate towards the end of that. But Ben Waterman's made a really canny move into the bell. Ben Waterman kicking hard to try and get back on terms with Sean Gee. Strong BUAC showing there in third place as well. Nicholas Landau in the white vest, just getting challenged by Charles Crick. He had such a good run at Sport City. How about opening your season with a personal best? That's the way you want to do it. Those gaps are really closing up. This is a really tightly bunched field, but Sean Gee at the moment still holding on to the lead. Sean Gee getting challenged by Ben Waterman. Love to see an ex-BUACer striking for the front, but he's getting hunted. He will have practiced this sprint. Came home with the fifth place there, but could he have run round about 150 on the nose there? Run off Sean Gee. He went with the Ben Waterman made to get on the back of Sean Gee, having the win at 150. Tyler Billiard looked like he was going to come flying through with around 120 to go, but hats to Sean Gee for pacing that really well. See the women down. We got slightly behind schedule, being in the wrong place on the 3 time now. Thought he was going to squeeze Robinson then and make a mess in a bush somewhere. If you just take yourself off the track. Look at the men's high jump there as well. Looks like they're in the early stages. Alrighty, so we've had 2 BMC races, men's, and now it's time for the first women's 800 metre race.
So in lane 4, who is with a PB of 208, lane 2, Kate Siri, who's been training really well. She's been going for the Commonwealth the steeplechase. Ladies, we've got Anna Clark from Woodford Green Essex Ladies, Bath Uni, and she recently ran a PB. Bullet. And she's in good shape. In lane 5, we've got Rhiannon Linnington Payne from Cardiff Met Uni. Lane 6 is Saskia Huxham. Lane 7 is Annie Tester from Birmingham, so it's nice to see some Birmingham representation in this. And lane 8.
Down there, pacemaking. She's run really well this season, over 800 and 1500. It's great. We see these women training with each other day in, day out here at the University of Birmingham, and I love it when they also pace each other. Izzy Cotton just checking her watch through that first 100 metres. She's gone off pretty hard. That looks like Poppy Elton. You can see the yellow vest of Worcester AC. Like Saskia said, wanting another one. She's opened up quite a gap on the rest of the field already as they come through that first 200, around about 30, 31, so that's pretty swift. Most of these women have personal bests. You know, well, we've got a 2:13 for Poppy listed, 2:12 for Zoe Doyle. Zoe Doyle's really good at pacing herself. You can see already Zoe Doyle's moved herself up onto the shoulder of Poppy Elton, and this field has gathered back.
But right now, the actually veteran athlete Zoe Doyle, who's leading the way as they go through the bell in 65. Pacemaker now drops out, and we've got the two athletes from Birmingham University following her very closely. Bunched race, but they're all looking good. They approach 300 metres to go. Lauren McNeil's now coming up on the outside, looking to take into the lead now with 300 metres to go.
Maybe Lauren McNeil, inspired by 8 Series well-paced race previously. Lauren McNeil kicked really hard. Going to be able to respond to the pace of Lauren McNeil. Lauren McNeil coming up to 600 metres around about 1:38, 1:39. Zoe Doyle still moving really well in second place. Kate Willis. Best looks like she can pace this right, or has she? Zoe Doyle all hard in the last 100 metres. See her picking up positions in the latter stages, but Lauren McNeil, she saved a little bit for this last 100 metres. Lauren McNeil, she's got a personal best of 2:11 listed. She's not going to be too far off this. Lauren McNeil working hard all the way to the line, 2:13. And Elton, our early leader, rallying well. I think she might just have pipped Zoe the line. Kate Willis in 4th, and Freya Padden coming through the race. If you would have heard that, Lauren McNeil said, I'm doing that again. Always love to hear the positivity of our athletes as they step off. A really well judged race from Lauren McNeil. Hundreds. We do have some 1500s coming up. Also, the event open 15. 4 open 5Ks to finish, so I will make Saskia Millard stay and commentate all 4 5,000 metres. I've got it for Luke anyway. Wait for him to shave his head. I don't know if anyone brought clippers down to the track. That would be a bit presumptuous. So we have got the result of the men's 800 metres. We had 2 heats of that. I've been promised them. Curry has promised the men's 800 metre results. Will they deliver? Oh, they're on his our screen, I don't think. All right, they might be up on track, but it was that finish from Maximilian Buckley. Made such a move at 2:50 to go. Stuart Miller kind of set his stall out early doors. He wanted to go really hard. The times I can see Maximilian Buckley 1:52.02, which, that would be a PB. It's knocked a little bit off his PB. Ahead of Alex Gill with 1:52.79. Stuart Miller holding on Bradley 53.51. So that's round out, but very similar to the time that Stuart Miller ran at Sport City. We have got metre races. Just you can see them lining up behind the.
So I'm just going to do a quick run through of the lineup. It's a very good field on paper, so this is going to be an exciting race to watch. Lining up on the inside, we've got Alex Edeker, an under-23 athlete from Chesterfield, and he also runs for St Mary's University. He recently represented Great Britain students at the World Universities Cross Country in Portugal, where he finished 17th. So this is a bit of a drop down in distance, but will be exciting to watch. We also have Joseph Tuffin, Ollie Newman of Birmingham University. Joe Tuffin ran a big PB last year of 3:45.03. This is his first 1500 of the season, so it'll be exciting to see how he opens. Next, we've got Alex Hampson of Athlete, and he's run sub 350 this year and an 800 PB, so he's in good form. Next, we've got Adam Wright. This is his first race in the UK actually this year. Next, we've got Ben Thomas, another Birmingham athlete. We've got James Beeks of Basingstoke, but also Colorado State University, who is actually his preferred event is steeplechase. We've got Dan Galloway, who's equalled his 800 PB this year, so exciting to see how he steps up a distance. We've got Dan Maud, Tommy Bridger, Ethan O'Shea, all of Birmingham University, and then finally we've got Frank Morgan, an under-20 athlete in the outside, who's run 3:53. So the fastest athlete in the field going to us is Joe Tuffin with his PB of 3:45.
See the high jump going well in the background as well. You can see the graphic.
And 2 3:47s this year, so it's great to see his consistency.
So the qualifying time for the UK champs is 3:47 dead. Ollie Newman I wonder if that's something he was targeting, or a lot of these athletes would have been targeting.
There's still one more opportunity there at Watford this weekend, where I know a lot of these athletes are racing again. So now we've got the men's 1500B race lining up, where it's another great field. So we've got Phil Kraut, Frank O'Brien, George Rowland of Birmingham Union, Max Walk as well, Oliver Way, Morgan James, Archie Parkinson, Dom James, Isaac Rothwell, Sam Davey, Alden Collier and Dan Melling. So we've got a few under 20 athletes in there. And the fastest athlete in this field is Philip Kraut, who's run 3:44.92.
Good pacemaking there for Michael Ward. Busy week of pacemaking for him. He pacemade at the Brigham Sports event on Friday. Pacemade 2K of a really fast 5K. I think he's finished about 13:13, about that sort of time, which is just amazing. British soil over that sports event on Friday. 5,000 metre. So look back, see whether he got this absolutely perfect. But Mike Welshman in the lead at the moment. 47 there is Frank Bryant. I think this could be his first race of the season. I couldn't see much on him. Phil Kraut out there on the inside. He's got that brilliant personal best of 3:44. He's not been that close to that this season so far. But it'd be great to see him get a little bit closer to that. But a whole host of BUAC vests behind them. Mike Ward leading them at the moment as they come through 400 around about 60 seconds, pretty much what we saw in the first race. So maybe Phil Kraut's asked Mike Ward if he can have this pace going pretty quick, because that's a lot faster than what these other men have run.
It's a pretty closely bunched field. You can see them all kind of tripping over each other's feet. But it's looking to start getting a bit more stretched out now, as that was quite a quick first lap, considering most of these men have run around between 3:50 and 4 minutes.
So I'll wait till they come around to get a good look, but that might be Archie Parkinson there coming. It is Archie Parkinson, just made quite a big move, getting himself up into the top 4. He won the C race here at the BMC back on the 14th of May. In an 800 metre PB, so a lot of these athletes are setting their personal best here at this University of Birmingham track. 48 there in his BUAC vest. George Rowland just tucked on the inside. I love an athlete that runs on a rail. Why not go? Why not run the shortest possible distance? And Morgan James there 7th place in the BUAC 10,000 metres. So like Kate Seary in that 800, Morgan James could only be hitting top speed now. He might still be accelerating. So they've slowed a little bit on that second lap. There's more like 2.6 through 800, which is more of a sensible pace perhaps for their personal bests in this field. But they're bunching well. I wonder how far Mike Ward will make it. We saw Tom Keane go almost to the bell, but Mike Ward looks like he's just lifting his pace a little bit. It's still Phil Kraut in second place, and Archie Parkinson in that blue vest just swinging round Phil Kraut, and he's taken George Rowland with him as they come up to 500 metres to go.
So we've got Mike Ward, the pacemaker, who's just dropped out. And we've got Archie Parkinson, the under-20 athlete, who's leading at the moment with the 2 BUAC vests closely behind of George and Morgan James. Who are both
Nesbitt, Jenny Simpson, I used to race her. Jenny Nesbitt all the way through to okay, not quite. Jenny Simpson stepping off 900 metres in and leaving Jenny Nesbitt all alone.
And Ellie Wallace does actually look like she's closing the gap there. She's completely by herself with the chasing group around 10 and 15 metres behind that, so they're all working together. But Ellie Wallace and Jenny Nesbitt is looking very strong as she comes into coming up to the bell now.
So the sight of Jenny Nesbitt working hard on a track all on her own was what we saw every time she raced a BMC event last year. She did 5,000 metres, I think she ran about 5:30, 5:32, sorry, 15:30 or 15:32 every time, just outside that Welsh Commonwealth qualifying standard. But it was great to see Jenny achieve that qualifying standard over in the States earlier in the year. And she's looking full of running. She looks like she's picking it up. That's 300 metres to go for Jenny Nesbitt. And you can see her, she's lifted that cadence, she's pumping those arms. It is a great second place at the moment for Ellie Wallace. And is it Lucy Jones of Charmwood AC having a storming run there in third place at the moment. She does steeplechase. She'll be doing the 3,000 metre steeplechase at Watford. That'll be her opening attempt at the 3,000 metre distance. But Lucy Jones kicking hard in third place. But Jenny Nesbitt kicking even harder. She's 50 metres ahead. She goes past that water jump. Jenny Nesbitt coming into the last 100 metres. You can see the, I think that's Luke Gunn, the red t-shirt down there, roaring her on. The meet organiser, Jenny Nesbitt, 80 metres to go. Look at that kick she's got. She's running so well this season, in the form of her life. She'll be back here in Birmingham for the Commonwealth Games in just 50 days' time. Jenny Nesbitt, the clock just eking outside of her personal best, but a great victory there for Jenny Nesbitt. Ellie Wallace working hard. She's going to break her fourth personal best. Strong finish for Molly Butterworth and Bryony Gunn. Just running great race all round.
Yes, actually that housemates, that's great to see from her. She just smashed her PB. She's over the moon with that. She started crying and she crossed the line. Oh,
Saskia, are you going to cry during commentary? I mean, I crying at commentary was right here when Jess Judd made the Olympics. Because I was crying. Excited. So don't worry, Saskia, there's nothing wrong about crying mid-commentary. But great run in there. Brilliant to see Jenny Nesbitt use this event as part of her preparation for those Commonwealth Games. And it was good, second place there. So I think Ellie Wallace would have come in quite a lot faster than her full personal best. See Butterworth kicking hard. She might have got another clocking underneath 4:30. But we have got some results to bring you up to date. Haven't. Our computer whiz Johnny Curry has just stepped away and I've stitched him up. Trying to get him to give you some results, but we'll get them underway soon. Got that high jump going on in there. Not a million miles off this women's shot put. That gets underway at 8. Sorry, it's a mixed shot put, men and women. But I'm getting excited about Amelia Strickler versus Sophie McKinnon, so that's why I keep calling it the women's shot put. All action down there. We've got a pizza van, we've got coffee, we've got music. If you came on the 9th and 10th of July, you'll also have beer. So Jake Berger is letting us know.
yeah, I've been hearing good things about that. I'm really looking forward to it. Should be very good.
So we're moving back to our Open 1500s, the conclusion of the BMC events.
It's pretty nice conditions. It doesn't seem to be too windy. Sun's out, even though it was meant to be rain, but it does always. Quite lucky with all the opens.
We were saying it seems to rain the whole time and they're setting a second. That full lineup of this first men's 1500. This is entrance. We don't know necessarily that everyone's definitely turned up, but we had Joel McGraw, Notts, Larry Ryan, Cardiff, Petros Kousis, William Newcomb, Cambridge, Dominic James, Grant Anderson, Mayank Mishra, Ross Van Heerd, Michael Stevens, and Thomas Tarragona. I want to see Tom race again. He looks so full of running at Sports City. Hopefully we can see him race at Watford.
It's great to see so many Birmingham athletes in here. It's pretty much a Birmingham field, to be honest. Checking out the pacemaking, as he said, he's running very well at the moment. Larry Ryan's gone with him, as well as Petros. And behind that, well, they're all together to make a sensible pace.
So that Notts vest of Joel McGraw running really wide. And then get yourself back on the inside. So 196, Larry Ryan in second place at the moment. Petros Kousis there just tucked in. He's running so fast this season.
And that's Ross right behind them, followed by Newcomb.
So Tom doing a really good job.
They've started to spread out now, haven't they?
Now, I think the minimum pacemaking job we've seen so far from a BUAC is pretty stiff. You've got to make it to at least 900 metres or, I don't know, Dean Miller will sign you up for pacing again.
They're all in a train. It looks actually quite like the night normally, just Birmingham training. It's great to see.
Yeah, such strength and depth here at the University of Birmingham. All these athletes living and training together. So there's no change in the order. Larry Ryan there in second place. Petros Kousis, well, space of the race is Petros Kousis in. Michael Stevens in third. Help me out.
That's Ross.
Oh, apologies. Oh yes, Ross in third place. See Grant just slotting himself onto the back of that group.
John McGraw looks like he's just lost contact with them. We've seen that quite a lot here tonight. Athletes coming back, only dropping off the back.
This is that crucial lap in the 1500, isn't it? When you've got to maintain concentration. You can't.
Tomer's still going out the front as pace.
Tomer, he's got a. Thomas Keane was the star for pacemaking, so better trying to. Tom Keane, you could see Larry Ryan just swing wide. He's thinking, is Tomer going to finish this race? That's not fair. He didn't say he was going to do that. Tomer going all the way to the bell. Meters out of Tom. But it's all changed behind 2, 3, 4. Even that tall figure, he's swinging right for the time. Larry Ryan might be challenged. Petros Kousis still sitting on the inside, but Grant Anderson, he worked really well to get himself on the back of this group. Is he going to strike home in the final 300 metres? Michael Stevens has started kicking, but Grant Anderson has as well.
Swim. Oh wow! So now going into first, that's William Newcomb. So he's come from quite far back, followed by Grant Anderson, Ross behind that, followed by Petros. So the order's changed completely. 150 to go. As well, he has a PB.
William Newcomb doing a Thomas Tarragona and just had a huge last 200 metres.
So his PB is 4 minutes flat, so it'd be great to see him go under 4 minutes. He's got 10 seconds here. Can he do it? To the line, all of them are.
William Newcomb, is he grimacing or is he smiling?
And he's gone under 4 minutes for the first time. Wow, that's so good to see. And all of them just.
I couldn't tell if he was smiling or grimacing, but by the time he got the line, that was definitely a smile.
Big smile. Oh, it's so nice to see him break the 4 minute barrier.
William Newcomb, so 9-1, so he might have taken around about a second off that. Up to date with a few results. That was the men's first heat. Joseph Tuffin was brave, went with the pacemaker trying to run fast, and Ollie Newman hunted him down in the last 200 metres. There's a whisker 47, but I do think that's a personal best for Ollie. I'm probably getting that wrong. Go check my notes. Yeah, I think that is a personal best for Ollie Newman. It's outside that UK champ standard of 3:7 dead, but maybe we'll see a lot of these men have another go at the Watford on Saturday. Thomas Bridger, look at that, what a range. Steeple 48, congratulations. 10-second personal best for Thomas Bridger. But Joseph Tuffin, that's a good, expect more out of him as he moves into Watford all round. That was the second heat. Archie Parkinson just holding off a fast finishing Morgan James. You see Phil Kraut, he went with the pace early doors. Parkinson, great run. Was that a personal? But yes, 5-second personal best for Archie Parkinson. So well done to him.
And these are the results of the women's BMC race. So great to see Jenny Nesbitt running 4:17 completely solo, basically from the gun. She followed Tilly Simpson, who did a great job of pacemaking, and Ellie Wallace as well. Similarly ran quite a lot of it by herself, but 4:23, a big PB for her. Before she'd run a 4:24, so actually not too. But anyway, nice to see.
Anybody's a big. What was that? 4:28 for Lucy Jones. So Lucy Jones and Kate Seary. When you talk about people just
at the moment, so
fighting for personal best for a year, I think Kate Seary and Lucy Jones might be a really long-standing personal best there. So that's brilliant. So this is the second race of 4 in an open 1500 metres. We've got listed Morgan, Patrick Mackey, Alex Dixon, Owen Ulfig, Bilston, Fred Jones of Wolves, Bayliss, Bourneville. This is a very short race for a Bourneville Harrier. You usually see them running all the local 10,000s and 5K. Ash Burgess down there, Thomas Eustace, Oscar Davis, Owen Jones, Jeremy McLean and Eddie Hunter.
Hunter there as the pace injury, so this is great to see him back on the track. We've got Patrick Mackey, another Birmingham athlete at the back, who would say is the second fastest Aston Villa fan in Birmingham.
But he's not in the strip. I didn't recognise him without his Villa t-shirt on.
Yeah, it's great to see so many young athletes there as well. There's actually here at the track, but they're all back out tonight racing.
Can't get enough of it. There's Owen Ulfig down in second place at the moment. You can see that Wolves and Bilston t-shirt. He's just an under. And
another interesting fact about him, he's also the Birmingham University fantasy football from last year. Clearly knows his football.
Or did he have a silly team name? Or was it an inventive team name? But at the moment, sitting there really well, all just thinking about Stephen Gerrard and that squad and what they might achieve next season. So, back to the race. 184, 186. My eyes are failing me. 180. So that Ash Burgess.
Burgess has a PB of 4:19. He's an under 17 athlete, so it's great to see so well. They're both going with the pacemaker, doing a great job.
It's around about 2:20 through 800 metres. That would give you 4:22, 70 seconds. Around about 4:22 for the full distance, and that would be, we've got a spread of personal best here, everything from 4:11. There's a 4 this, so a great on there, but the field just starting to spread out a tiny bit. Right, how far can Eddie Hunter do? Thomas Tarragona showed up with a bit of a show off, went all the way to 1200. You can see these athletes working hard behind, and that quite rightly I think Eddie Hunter getting out of the way here, because Owen Ulf, Burgess, fancy. You can see that Wolves and Invest on the inside. 190, that's Owen Ulfig, the under 50, 423. At
following behind them. He's got a PB of 4:15, which was actually run this season.
And 1.5 Brat there as well. Alex Dixon at the moment.
13 athlete by himself, but he's picking up the pace there.
Fred Jones is a little bit isolated, and we've got a BUAC vest giving chase at the moment. It still is Owen Orford. Some Bilston vest out in the front. Now, can
Fred
he?
Looks to be coming back. Wow, a sprint finish. Has he gone too soon though?
Has he gone
Hopefully
too soon?
not.
Hopefully not. Some big. Another one here today, or 100 metres to go. He looks more like the sprint finisher Jenny Nesbitt. This looks a little bit safer. Owen Orford kicking hard for the line. He's under 15. He's got a personal best listed at 4:23. They were roundabout on that pace.
Oh, he's going to.
But I think he's lifted that.
4:12. Wow, he's absolutely smashed his PB there.
He's really lifted the pace in the second half of that race. Owen Jones coming through for Ash Burgess third, and that was a strong finish there.
And Fred Jones is coming about 4:22, so he's as well got about an 8-second PB. Oh, I've seen so many PBs tonight.
Yeah, it's great to see. But Owen Orford really made that race. They came through 800 and 220, so to come all the way back in 4:13, really lifted that pace. Certainly got more in. Looking for sharing a moment with his teammates there as well. Owen Jones paced that really well. Made a big move around about the belt. Moving through the field, ending up with that second place. He's got 15, so I don't think he'll be quite as quick as that today.
Yeah, slightly slower, I reckon. But still early in the season. A lot more Birmingham Opens to go. We've got a big festival coming up, which will be great. It's the 9th and 10th of July.
I was teasing Jake, the order of priority listed was it beer, food, music, athletics. Got our priorities right here at the University of Birmingham. Got Heat 3 just lining up behind the discus cage there. Laura Trask of BUAC, Oliver Brown of Brat, Lizzie Pennington of Notts, Lucy Stevens of BUAC, Tom Burdett of Brat, Ava Kind, Wolves, Holly Banks, Stroud and the University of Birmingham, Dylan Teesside of Brat, Katrina Brown of Aldershot, Ella Semple, Wolves, Abby Rex, BUAC, Hannah Seeger, BUAC, Lucy Thornton, Lincoln and BUAC. I should just say everyone. If I don't say BUAC, they probably are. Maddie Malstronado, BUAC as well, Charlotte Vaughan, George Asprey, and I've got Izzy Cotton listed as pacing again. So she paced one of the.
I can see her over on the line there. It's payday for Izzy Cotton today.
This is how you, if you're one of Dean Miller's athletes, you have to do whatever he says, and it probably includes a lot of pacemaking. Fastest on personal bests, Ella Semple, Wolves and Bilston.
4:35.
So
pretty closely bunched actually in terms of PBs. There's not too much for range, so they should all be able to use each other here.
Holly Banks in the lead at the moment. She's from 4:12 at Sport City, 2:12 at Sport City. Yeah, really good
it's
run.
Great to see her coming back actually, because she kind of took a bit of time out of the sport, I think, but she's actually been, yeah.
It's my second claim club. Is to compete for them in the Women's League. There's the high jump round 1. No, that's just the first heat. That is the final result. I was just making sure we weren't bringing you a live result, but Tom Quisser there taking the lead, taking the win in 1 metre and 95. Evan Campbell 1 metre 90. Craig Monker personal best at 1 metre and 80. JB Warman, that's where he was, busy doing the high jump. We've got the final heat of the 1500 lining up behind the discus cage.
So the field here is Zena Asprey of Wolves, Amelia Casey of BUAC, Sam Bull and Sarah Jones of Wolves, Amelia Harrison, Robin McDowell, Darcy Payne of Brat, Paul Shaw, Oliver Knight, also of Brat, Scarlett Willoughby and Jack Stockton of Wolves, Nicholas Van Morick of Brat, and we've got Emily Williams pacemaking there again. So let's see if she can do as good a job as last time.
right bang back on schedule. This race was due to go off at 8:01 and I make it 8:01 here at the University of Birmingham Open. And they're off. Great to see a range of times and ages as well. Got some under 11s in here, under 13s, all the way up to. Well,
so we've got the fastest in the field, Nicholas van Morik, who's run 4:46. He starts on the outside, an under 15 athlete from BUAC.
Emily Williams just working to get to the front of this group. I think it's so hard when you're a young up and coming athlete and you're smashing your personal best every time out of the park.
It's exciting. You just want to
get exciting.
Get
they just want to. They do. That 174 Jack Stockton, Wolves and Bilston. He's in the lead at the moment. Emily just easing in at Sarah Jones 167 and tucked on the inside 161 Sam Ball. He's an under 13 from Wolves and Bilston. Sure, those athletes do lots of training together. So we've got 3 Wolves in the lead at the moment. Bright athlete Nicholas van Morik, the fastest field, just Emily, and yeah, look at that. That's some experience there. For Nicholas van Morik, he's just working gradually into that top. Emily Williams, Jack Stockton not letting Emily Williams get to the inside, but she'll be helping them there. These athletes taking that mental pace, even if she's not quite in front of them, and the wind's pretty much totally dropped. So Emily Williams just now, the first time, 500 metres in the race, so on 135, just manages to get herself ahead of Jack Stockton and Sam. Sarah Jones stepping back into 4th place, and Nicholas van Morik coming into 3rd.
It's pretty much perfect conditions here now. Virtually no wind. So Sam Ball, 13 athlete from Wolves, is sitting on the shoulder of Emily Williams, followed by his team. Oh, not teammate. Jackson. Actually, yes, also of Wolves, the under 15 athlete. They're both using about 2:17. Amelia Casey, the athlete, running pretty much solo.
So that's quite some more move there from Sam Ball. Plan, just sit in and relax for 700 metres and then start to wind it up. He's just doing a really good job being an extra body in this race. You might be running the pace they've asked for, but it's really helping out Sam Ball and Jack Stockton. Stockton back to Sam Ball. Sam Ball made a brave tactical move there. He's got 6 metres to go. He looks like he's accelerating a little bit every time he goes through each 100 metres. Emily Williams stepping away now. So you've got Jack Stockton of Wolves trying to get back on terms with Sam Ball, and Nicholas van Morik of BUAC. And he's not gone any higher than 3rd, but he's never been that far out of the action. They've got 500 metres to go. Some dramatic finish at the University of Birmingham.
Finish. So it'll be exciting to see if maybe he has run it a tactical race and he will come back in the last.
Over his shoulder, I don't think that's because of fatigue. I think he's trying to gauge his tactical effort correctly. But Sam Ball is in the lead at the moment, but Nicholas van Morik has swung past Jack Stockton. How can Jack Stockton respond? Let's hope that Jack Stockton go with Nicholas van Morik. Too late to catch Sam Ball. Sam Ball hits the 250 metre mark.
He looks like he's just gone again.
He does. He's kicking and kicking, isn't he? Paced particularly well. He has lifted his 100 metres. And look, he goes with 200 metres to go. Sam Ball, full of running.
Sam Ball will be 5 minutes flat as well. So it's great to see if he can dip under that here. Looking on track to do that at the moment. Keep up this pace and keep up this surging especially.
Sam Ball coming through with 100 metres to go. Nicholas van Morik in second. Jack Stockton, he seems to be just pushing himself. He's got his head down. He's leaning forward. He's doing everything he can to make it a Wolves and Bilston 1-2. It is going to be a win. The personal best of 5 dead. 4:49, 4:50. 10 seconds off his personal best. He looks delighted. Nicholas van Morik holding on for second place.
Oh, you can see how much that means to him going under that mad. And they've all Got Sarah Jones of Wolseley under 17 woman coming through there. Her PB before this was 5:20, so again massive.
Now at 5:15, Amelia Casey, a season's best for her. To see the officials nervously asking the athletes, they want this in their teammates, but if they cross that line, it will register as a finish. 7 short, hands on head, getting that sub 6 minutes. One athlete left in this 4 races of in the Open 1500. All right, that concludes the 1500 metre races. We'll move on to 1000 metre races, but we have women's shot put underway. We've had some races so far. So Amelia Strickler, I think, has just thrown a Commonwealth team standard, 17:13. So that would get her underneath that Commonwealth standard. That's 17 metres exactly. So that's great for Amelia Strickler. That qualification is. So that's what that will be. We were talking about Birmingham. Amelia Strickler will get that, but we've got Sophie McKee down there as well. She's had a bit of an arduous journey here from Hengelo. You can see her picture, left-hand side of your picture there. She's also making some pretty cool changes this year, trying to move from the glide to the rotate technique. So having to from Amelia. So we are going to try and show you a shot put down there. Had one round and 3, just shaking his arms around there on the Campbell, so he's had a busy day. So I don't think he's got a first round throw yet. Isaac Delaney, under 20, he's done 18:12. Amelia Strickler, like we say, that's 17:13 over that standard. Zach Davis, he's on 16:58, 16:26 at the moment. I think that's the season's could be the best for Sophie McKinnon. I have to look that up. Fraser Wright, 13:17 that first round. Craig Monker, 12:57. Alice Lineker, another one of our multi-event athletes, 9:68. On 7 metres and 74 at the moment. So we're into round 2 shot put. As well as an under 20, he would be trying to have a look at world under 15, so 15:12 at the moment. If Isaac Delaney could find himself another, he'd get a £200. More importantly, he'd get a all about the money, but we do like to reward our athletes that compete well. And shot put, Saskia?
I actually had a discussion shot 10, so yes.
Better than me, I'll tell you that. But so he does world junior qualifying mark. He actually got that here at the last Open, and that's what Jake was saying, wasn't it? Is Isaac Delaney trying to collect the £200 every time he comes to the University of Birmingham? We're this week, it might have been Hengelo, had taken out insurance because it was meant to be a 25 grand bonus if Mantis did a world record. So find some sort of insurance that would bail them happened, but he didn't manage it. But Isaac Delaney, we don't have any insurance for him, but we'd love to give him £200 every time he turns up. We've got a 5,000 metres going on in the background, so we are going to flip between the 5 and give you any verbal up as well, because there is a live scorecard that's on the OpenTrack website as well. That out, Isaac Delaney, second round, 17.99. Improvement there. Everyone's best throw so far.
So this first race, open 5,000 metres. We've got a great lineup of Beth Moore, Josh Dowling, Dan Robinson of Bournemouth, Panu Kumchun Pajan, Tilly Horton of BUAC, Ben Lucas, Claire Arms, the daughter, combination running here. I'd love to run with my mum in a 5k race. I think that would be very fun. Richard Keep, Christopher Burrows of Brat, George Asprey of Brat, Darcy Hay of Cambridge and BUAC, Rachel C, Eloise, and we've got Joe Blacknell, the pacemaker, who's actually currently sitting in second. So 2-6, Dan Rob, a season's best of 17:23, has actually gone to the front. He's gone ahead of the pacemaker. He's obviously feeling good. Josh Dowling just tucking in behind Joe Blacknell, the pacemaker.
See in the bottom of your screen, we'll get an up. Shot put marks as they're thrown as well. Let's see.
It's already very spread out here. You can see. I know. So it'll be nice for them to be racing.
I've got a pole vault warming up down there as well. You can see they've still got the that they sort of bungee cord up there at the moment. But Joe meters in around about 100 seconds. We are going to have. We've got Sophie in there for her second round throw. In a second, apparently. At the limits of our fantastic technical capabilities. Yeah.
So they put 200 there. 600 in about 2 minutes. The pace they asked for. So the girls group go through in 2:12. And Joe Blacknell's doing a good job there at the front, closely followed by Dan Robinson, who's now settled in behind him. Howling as well.
Joe Blacknell just checking his watch. We'll get a kilometre split in around about another 100. They could be on for. It's still the 1k, isn't it? I was thinking about the 1k 1500. 5,000 metre running. About 500 metres. Oof. It's been a long week.
Well, you realise how many laps it is when you watch other people. It's really a long event.
What do you try? Yeah, it is so many laps in a 5k. Do you try and switch off, or do you try and concentrate throughout it?
It's been a while since I've done one. I usually try and switch off for as long as I possibly can. Ignore the pain. But that's usually very long.
Dan Robinson right with Joe Blacknell through that first kilometre in 3:20. Is that 16:40? 20 for a k? Yeah. Yes! Yeah! Oh, we should say my coach Bud maths, and all it was a good memory. I didn't work that out mathematically. I was like, I'm fairly sure 3:20 just gives you 16:40.
The fastest in this, I think. Who have we got here? Paul, who's run 16:50.
Metronomic 80 second lapping from Joe Blacknell, and that's not Joe Blacknell's pace. But here we can see Sophie McKinnon's second round attempt. Is working so hard to totally change her technique from a glide to rotation. We'll try and get you a measurement because that was a live throw. I'll give you an update. But we're also trying to share the footage of this 5,000 metres. Dan Robinson in second place at the moment.
Joe Blacknell's doing a great job there of pacemaking down. They're still on pace actually for 60. season's best is 73, so it'd be great if he could run maybe a PB or a season best.
So Sophie McKinnor's second round throw was measured 76, a half a metre improvement on her first round throw, so that's alright if you're just adding half a metre. But Amelia Strickler in the circle at the moment, already throwing that Commonwealth Games in the first round, 17 metres and 13. That rotation there, just choosing to stay out. Amelia Strickler not thinking that was going to be any improvement on her 17-13 from the first round.
So Jo Blacknell, they've gone through in 6 minutes, still on 16:40. And still behind now, athlete 2:30, who is Richard Keep of Bourneville. He's got a season's best of 17 minutes. So he's on track for PB as well, followed by Josh at Birmingham University. And his PB is 16:56. They're all looking pretty close to athlete 242. Beth Tabor of Wolves, who's got 26 run this season. 18:26, sorry, season. She's running pretty much solo, and behind that we've got a group of 4 women. So Sophie Rotherham, a duo of Claire and Lucy Elms, the athlete in there as well. So a group of 4 who can all use each other.
That's a good little pack forming there, and Jo Blacknell's doing a really good job of keeping Dan Robinson, because he will be all on his Jo Blacknell's finish. But 2:30, Richard Keep, he could be stalking down his Bourneville teammate. I bet they do some training together. I bet he's thinking, Dan Robinson always slows down a little turn from poor Jolly paper up down the track, keeping an eye on Richard Keep, seeing whether he can go with him. And Joshua Dowling, who's that in fourth place year? I've lost track of that.
That is Joshua Dowling.
It is Josh Dowling. Oh, it is. Yeah. He's just not got his BUAC vest on.
No.
Thinking it can't be Josh. He's not got his BUAC vest.
No, he's got big things.
Yeah.
Best coming through, 7:54. And now taking her turn at the front, a group of 4 women by Sophie Rotherham and Lucy. Rachel C. PB of 18:39 is bringing up the rear of that group.
And Panu just behind that group of. We are focusing on the leader at the moment, but we're back with the shot put. Evan Campbell shot put. In some of the in the first round. We're in the third round now of this shot put competition. They're confused by that.
It always baffles me how these decathletes can do so many events in one night. I couldn't.
Just give me one simple 800 or something like that. So we've still got Dan Robinson, our long, trying to hang on to Jo Blacknell. Jo Blacknell running those second laps. I just feel like Richard Keep is maybe just taking half a metre out of every 100 to call it a catch yet. If Dan Robinson slows at all, if he loses concentration, I do think Richard Keep could be back on terms with him. That's Isaac Delaney in the men's shot put. So Evan Campbell measured at 13 metres and 51. That was a sort. And Isaac Delaney, like we said, throwing that World Junior first open, 18-12 so far. Third round throw.
So Jo Blacknell, I'm not sure how far he's going to take this, but he's looking pretty good, and he's doing a job there for Dan Robinson.
So we have got a measurement for Isaac Delaney in the third round. World Junior qualifying mark for the man from Preston. It's 18 metres, £200, ka-ching. he's Birmingham Open and Monterey, which are fantastic sponsors of these open events. helping us build that prize purse, helping us get high pace on some really.
Four women is now Lucy Ams and Sophie Rotherham, and they're actually chasing down Beth Tabor. The majority of this race. Dowling coming through finish line at the moment, 10:34. And Joe Blacknell looks like he's still on metronomic pace, 16:40, Dan Robinson's still with him. But his teammate, Richard Keeps, not giving up the chase. The gap hasn't really grown in a while. It'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Absolutely. Another lap for Joe Blacknell before we can give them a 4K split. So the 3C come round. And they're starting to lap some runners as well. Panic student, we can see him there. He's at the University of Birmingham school down the road. So having a go at 5,000 metres here tonight. No stranger to a pole. But I'll bet this is man who's, I don't know, he's got a season's best listed about 8 minutes. I'm not sure he's tracked 5K before, maybe he has. Dan Robinson, they're just definitely shortened. Richard Keep at black vest, he's chasing ahead of them. They are both as Bourneville Harriers. They'll do a lot of training. Bourneville's just 2.5-3 miles away from Edgbaston. I think so. We always see them running on the canal. We do a lot of our runs there as well. But they've made it, from Bourneville down to Sedley, down to Edgbaston here to run at this University of Birmingham track. But Robinson said this is 4K. They've broken the back of this 5,000 metres. Dan Robinson, 1,000 metres to go. Clock around about 12:10. Maybe they've got another lap to go. Because I think they must have one more lap to go after this for their 4K split. I can't see the. Remember to count their laps, right? Sophie McKenna just throwing again there. A bit of a groan of frustration there. We'll see. Has caught Robinson. Sophie McKenna 16 metres and 76 from her second round. And I think that's a foul in the third round for Sophie McKenna, maybe an intention.
Joe Blacknell's still looking very strong. Dan Robinson has now been joined by his teammate Keep. They're both running there together. Okay. Joe Blacknell leading them through.
Rickler, third round throw. Fouled in the second, but she did hit 17:31 in the first round. Again, you just see the frustration. I love the language. I love the yell off to the side. Oh, I nearly got it. Yeah, that was a foul for Amelia Strickler as well. So that's the end round in the open. And they will move through. No format here at the University of Birmingham, nothing fancy like that. We will try and bring you their best throws, but they will all take 6 throws. I'm not sure whether they're going to reverse or anything fancy like that, or whether they'll take them in the order they are. Time, it is 2 laps to go for Richard Keep. They were 80. I think they've far off that. But maybe 14 minutes on the clock. That would have been that 16:40 pace. So they're still on for under 17 minutes.
Richard's got a season best of 17 minutes. It'd be great to see if he can dip.
So Richard Keep, if you're going to have a big last couple of laps, he does look the fastest he's looked. Great, he paced it so well. Just slowly catching Dan Robinson. There's always got to be a bit of a relief at this stage in a 5,000 metre session when you've got 600 metres to go. That's all right. That's kind of your nearly home territory.
I'm nearly home, but it's hurting a lot by that point.
Like pain locker. So, yeah. Yes. Give you some talk.
Hurting for the last 3K, so it's not really that nice. No, only have 600 metres left.
Saw the board flash up there. Sharon Higgins of the shot put. She's on the best of 7 metres and 91. But Richard Keep, finally, Joe Blacknell goes, I won't run a full 5,000 metres. I'll let he's almost taken him there. Keep's just got 550 metres to go.
And the group of girls going through, it's starting to spread out now as well. Sophie Rotherham taking the lead in that group, followed by Lucy L. Beth Tabor, and then Claire Elms, who's an unbelievable Masters athlete. She's got so many world records, she seems to be breaking them every week.
But family rights, well, looks like it's going to go to Lucy Elms, the daughter, unless Claire Elms can have an inspired last 300 metres. See Claire Elms there in the pink, just back towards Beth Tabor. Lucy Elms is kicking hard. She's 600 metres to go, and the man just pulling up on her shoulder, Richard Keep. He's our leader. He's got just 2 to go. The clock's at 16:10, so he could be on for around about 16:50. Might just be a shade underneath it. Richard Keep, 17 minutes listed as his personal best. I wonder if he's run at a park run. I wonder if he's ever run quicker. So many in the city. Birmingham resident. But Richard Keep just got 100 metres to go. Closing up on Joshua Dowling, who's in.
It's very strong outfit this.
Richard Keep lapping nearly everybody.
16:47 for Richard Keep, and his PB by season's best down in 17 minutes. That's great to see him dipping so far under it. We've got Robinson coming through, 50 metres to go, and his season's best 17:23, so he's smashed that. 17:02.
Great running there. Everything can go next week, so see if I can get underneath that 17-minute mark.
You can just see a fist bump for the two teammates there and cheering on. Olive, who was the quickest in the field with a PB of 16:50, but his season's best 17:34. He's just beaten that by 10 seconds, which is great. 2:35 is athlete Rachel C coming in now. 18:39 is her PB. Oh, but she's got one more lap to go.
Thinking she's run a massive pass. Oh wait, she's got another lap. That makes more sense. See, just tracking Joshua Dowling in now. Is he coming fourth place?
Yeah.
So Joshua Dowling has run sub 17 minutes, so a little bit off that today. Chased down hard by some of the athletes behind it.
Ladies are all coming in to finish now. Sophie Rotherham has a PB of 30, so she'll be slightly outside that now. And Lucy Elms has won by the Elms family. She crosses the line in around 18:20, followed by Beth Tabor in 18:25 and Claire Elms now in 18:30. So that's we've got Rachel C 50 metres to go.
So back with the shot put. The fourth round, I think, judging by the club vest, but I might not be right. Oh no, Zach Davis, the other one I was going to say. We've already had a fourth round throw off Kuwayne Linton. Zach Davis, under 20. To hold his balance there. 16:58 is his best in the first round, 16:45 second round, and a foul in the third. You can just see the dramatic there in the background from Isaac Delaney. They've got to be careful on that.
What's going on?
Expect so many 5,000 metre runners to be running round and round behind them. Behind Alice Lineker, she'll take her fourth round throw.
Another decathlon. Oh, heptathlon. A lot of events here. She just did well in the high and straight over.
So Alice Lineker there, just being obscured by James, one of the officials. We're messaging James saying, has he read it? The officials are much more bothered than getting in the way of our cameras. But so McKenna makes her way into the circle for her fourth throw. Lady train in Loughborough ago, and watching them try and pick apart this technique. The hand signals meant dipped outside the sector. So they didn't measure it, so that must have been a foul. So Amelia Strickler made her way into the circle. Amelia Strickler just straight into the Sophie McKenna. Coiling herself up, unleashing that shot put. Look at this. Like that. Amelia Strickler liked that a lot. Amelia Strickler strutting off. Could she have gone even better than her 17 metres and 13 from the first round? She had 2 fouls after that. And we'll try and bring you up.
So now lining up. Oh, the
17 metres for Amelia Strickler. Sorry, Saskia.
No,
I was excited.
Fine, that's great.
Stadium record. That's what we like here at University of Birmingham. Amelia Strickler, 7 centimetres throwing.
So the second Open 5K has just gone off. We've got Adam Hill of Bratt, Michael Burgess of Bratt, Prashant De Silva of Leeds, George, Mark Ince, Robert Vaughan, Tom Lucas, Aidan Banfield of BUAC, Athanasios Sakis of Bratt, Levi Berger, Jason Bennett of Birchfield, Sam Bentham, Patrick Faulkner, Tyler Hawley, Daniel Dalmedo, and pacing again. See if he can go as far as last time. Front, going through 237, we've got athlete Jason Bennett of Birchfield, who's got a season's best of 15:36, which is the second fastest in the field behind Daniel Dalmedo, who's run 14:26 this season.
So Fraser 49, his best throw so far, coming in the third round. But we are underway in the 5th round. Like we say, no final 3 here at the Birmingham Open. Keeping it nice and simple. Let's see what the Thames Valley Harrier measures for this. So I think he is up in round 5. 82.
So the athlete Birchfield has gone completely. Oh, back to the shot put.
That was your glimpse. We will follow action on both sides, because we are keen to bring you the shot put as we just move into the final couple of stages. And that was Kawain Linton, 10 metres and 22 from the first round, just taking his 5th round.
So they passed. How far is that? 6 metres. We've got Jason Bennett, who's still way ahead of the pacemaker Tamer, who's doing a great job. And just behind Tamer, we've got Tyler Hawley of Birchfield, an under 20 men with a PB.
So Evan Campbell makes the circle for his 5th round. 13:51 in the third. See Jade Sermon, age group international over there, just with her hands on her hips. Evan Campbell for me, just falling forward a little bit, losing a bit of that height. And it was a foul throw there for Evan Campbell.
So Tamer doing a great job. Pacemaker behind him, Aidan and Tyler Hawley.
The event lead, Isaac Delaney in the men's shot put. Another World Junior qualifying mark of 80. And those age group championships qualification for those junior championships. Just fouling, choosing to foul out of that 5th round, thinking it wasn't worth the measure.
So we've still got Jason Bennett way ahead of the pacemaker. I'm not quite sure what pace they've been asked for, but it doesn't look particularly. Banfield right on Tamer's shoulder. Tyler, I can't actually see who else is in there, but there's a little Tamir very closely, and they are starting to close the gap fast. But we'll see. It's PB of 15:36, so yeah.
See Craig Monker there being given 13 metres and metres, and we'll head back over to Kawain Lynn. Thank you very much. Zach well, any other way like that, and all I can see is the club vest. That's pretty hard work. So this is Davis, one of our under 20s. He's not quite with Isaac Delaney at the moment, just 16 metres and 98 centimetres for Zach Davis. Amelia Strickler is ahead of him at the moment. You can see substance there. So Zach Davis will have to move on round to see if he can improve on his 16 metres and 98.
So back to the 5k. The pacemaker and the change have closed the gap on Jason Bennett. Just behind got Banfield, and followed by Levi Berger, who's got a PB of 16:40.
Shot. So not with was that a left hand? Left-handed. A lefty thrower, more complicated in the discus, and they've got to go and the hammer throw, and they've got to rearrange that cage every time they throw. A bit simpler in the shot put. It's not. Yeah, fortunately, it doesn't have to do either of those events in heptathlon. To worry. Don't worry about any cages and Alice Lineker's left hand. Don't panic when you see Alice Lineker entered for an event. She won't be messing.
So they pass through back to shot.
And Sophie McKenna, that's the 5th round. Like I say, just really having to apply herself to this change in technique. 16 metres and 76 in the second round. Fouls for Sophie McKenna. Round for Sophie. 6th and 5th. Amelia Strickler just thrown 17 metres and 67 centimetres. She's thrown a little bit further in the States earlier on in the season. But Amelia Strickler with 2 Commonwealth Games qualifying standards in this competition. Got another couple from the circuit. Let's see. She just held that. She's gone, don't waste your time. This put competition coming at us thick and fast. Really keeping it moving down there. Those officials working really hard.
So we've got Tamir still doing a great job pacemaking. We've got Jason Bennett still with him, and Aidan Ban of University of Birmingham. So it's great to see the mates working together along with Birchfield Harriers. So they come through in 6:52. Sorry. Just is Levi Berger of University of Warwick, who's running 14. He's kind of in a bit of no man's land. And behind that, we've got Patrick Falk, 1704 in the blue, by Tyler Hawley, 20 Birchfield Athletic.
Shout out to Dan Dalmeida as well. Just not on your screen, slightly off. He's an ex-BUAC athlete, coaching now. Back in the shot put. Fraser Wright, that's his final throw. Yeah, Fraser Wright, active coach, competing here, and that'll be a foul, even with 30 metres and 82 is his best. Look there at Kawain Linton. Add a little bit more to his mark so far. Getting these results through really that website, and you can see them just flipping up on the graphics here. Some of our students inputting it in fancy, complicated system that automatically pops up. So 10 metres on the nose. No, Wayne Linton, he will finish 10 metres and 36. Kay Reynolds there doing a great job at cone. Competitor. Evan Campbell, his final throw. We talk about all these multi-eventers, so we have got the track feature heptathon and a decathlon. There we go. Food, multi-events. We'll do
In the order of priority.
in the order of priority. Probably not too much beer and food. The multi-eventers, and again for me, just he's getting a clap from his teammates. So maybe I'm sure he knows more about shot put than I do, but just falling forward a little for Evan. So we might get a kick in the corner that could update. Evan Campbell's improves. 13 metres 58, just a 7 centimetre improvement for Evan Campbell to finish.
Jason Bennett goes ahead of the pacemaker again. Maybe didn't very strong. TIMETABLE pacemaker's just dropped out.
You are a last round for Isaac Delaney. Already done 18 metres and 51. Walks out the front there. Open in July. The 2 but 6. He's getting all his money from the University of. He could be heading out to Columbia to represent Great Britain at those World Junior Championships. I'm not sure who that was in the University of Birmingham vest. Monka, thank you very much. Craig Monka in the decathlon silver medal at the Bucks decathlon last weekend, 2 weekends ago. So Craig 13 metres and 5 has improved that to 13 metres and 14 in the final round of the shot.
So back to 5k, we've got 4. Jason Bennett is running very well. He's gone through.
Poor Saskia, just when she gets into her. But we will catch the end of that 5k. We're just coming through this final round in the shot put. Zach Davis. 98. Can Zach Davis find one? We'd love setting himself up, exploding across that circle. Not really giving much away, but he's not fouled it either. So we can't see those lines on the track, but Zach Davis looking for improvement on 16 metres and 58. 16 metres 89, not quite an improvement for Zach Davis.
So Jason Bennett coming round there at the start. Oh, no. 3 laps to go in the 5k.
Thank you, Saskia. So Alice Lineker looking for an improvement on 9 metres and 84. So we are getting into the final 3 laps in the men's in the open 5k. This is the second race of 3,000 metres.
Okay, Jason Bennett leading the way, followed by Aidan Back. He's just coming through with 3 laps, starting to hurt, but he can do it. Behind that, there's a big gap of about 100 metres to the next athlete, who is Levi Berger of University of Warwick. But the under 20 athlete, so they can 3.
Saskia, brilliant. Kinner 6th and 5 in the shot put. She's put together a few miles in the and you can see she's just finding her feet, learning this new technique. Just falls out of that 6th attempt. 76 round. Busy week for Sophie McKenna. High five there from a training for silver medalist Chase Ely. It's such a rivalry. Sophie McKenna and Amelia Strickler. Amelia Strickler has got the better of Sophie McKenna. 16 metres 7, Sophie's 6th round there. Amelia Strickler come to this university and performed fantastically. 2 Commonwealth Games standards, 17-13 in the 2 fouls, 17 in the 4th. Another foul. What can she do in the 6th round? It's not the roar we saw in the 4th round when she did that 17.67. I don't think improvement 17 and 67. Just judging on the body language alone, I can't see these lines.
So back to the 5K. Leah Strickler has just come through as 17:10 for her, so not quite good, but yeah, still great finish. 3 Commonwealth Games standard, I've been told. Yeah, well, yeah. And so the 5K, I think they're coming around 600 to go, or 500 actually for the leading athlete, Jason Bennett.
And they will this time as they move through. 550 metres to go for our leader. He looks tired, he's been working hard out there on his own, but he's got just 400 metres left to go.
On through the bell there with 14:20, and his PB is 16:50, so could be on for a very big PB here. We've got Aidan Banfield who's about to come through. He's got 50 metres, 450 metres to go. They've raced solo, so all done very well. It's tough mentally, but he's doing a great job. Grimace on for a while now, but through it. 14:46 he's gone through there. And Jason Bennett's coming around just over 200 metres. He's on for a great time, and it looks like he has picked it up. And just coming through with 400 to go now, we've got the under-20 athlete, Tyler Hawley, 15:05. There's a big spread of athletes now coming into the home. He's picking up the pace. He's got a sprint finish. Looks like he's going to get a PB if he runs all the way through the line. 15:30, 15:32. That's great run for him. Aidan Banfield, 150 metres to go. There's lots of other athletes are going, passing into their final laps. The athlete 2:45 now, his final lap. That's Ethan Salakis of BUAC. Aidan Banfield, sprint finish across the line. As he crosses the line, I think he just missed out on
He's asking the officials, did I get it? That he might have been 16 minutes on the nose. Great finish here from Tyler Hall, taking 3rd place overall, about that 16:20 mark.
Still a massive PB for Aidan there, 16 for this, so he's knocked a big chunk off, and it is still early in the season as well.
Athlete coming to silver.
Coming through the line now, we've got Levi Berger, the Warwick athlete, University of Warwick, the PB of 16:14, so slightly off that, but still a good run from him, 16:44. Got a few BRAT athletes coming through the line. One coming through is Michael Burgess of BRAT. And we've got the last. No.
Anastasios.
Yeah, of BRAT.
Love a Greek. Greek names are harder to say. So Saskia, are you a Selling Sunset fan?
I love Selling Sunset.
Well, if you might have seen a bell ringing incident going on just in that men's 5K. That over exuberant official managed to knock the bell off the lap counter, and it was very Chrishell, if you ask me. But I think he has managed to reattach it. There was a lot of thing going on. He improvised, turned the bell upside down, rung it that way. Managed to keep the athlete informed of whether they were entering.
We've got the 3rd 5K lining up now. Is this the last race? Okay, so this is the last race. 3 5K. It's been a great night of racing. We've got, in this race, Noah Armitage Hooks on the start list. I'm racing actually due to injury. We've got Vincenzo Pratley of University of Warwick, Nick Hardy of Tipton, Tom Beasley of Birchfield, Tom Wood, William McKeamy of BRAT, Jonathan Bradford of Birchfield, Jake Barraclough, Jonathan of Tipton, Ben Duncan of Matt Clutterbuck of Bill, Tom Jones, University of Warwick, Richard De Camps, Ben Winfield, Thomas Bentley Tipton, George Loxton of BUAC, who's actually been amazing in organising this whole event, and we've got Mike Ward again as pacemaker. The fastest to be Noah Armitage Hooks, although he's Jonathan Carter in a time of 14 for the Tipton. So lining up on the start line now, ready to go. Last event of the night, the men's 5k. So there's not actually a massive spread of times here, so it should be quite a closely bunched race. Racing here. So Mike, the pacemaker's gone straight to the front. He's already done a fair bit of pacing tonight, so it's good to see him back out again. A great athlete himself. Tucked in behind him. But they're all quite. We've 222 is Ben Winfield of the University of Warwick on the outside of the PB of 1509, and the Tipton athlete 240, which is Nick Hardy with a PB of 15. So we do have a lot of University of Warwick representation in this race. It's good to see. The Tipton 20 athlete, coached by his dad, has just slotted in behind Mike Ward. So just gone through 400 in around 70, just over 70 seconds. So that pace, I mean, if they keep that up, is what are they looking at? 15-minute pace, slightly ahead of all their PBs. Got Mike Ward still looking good with athlete 222. Not much position has changed. 222 and 240. Ben Winfield and Nick Hardy both slotted in side by side behind Mike, by Thomas Beasley of Birch. So Mike Ward slightly slowed the pace down. Aren't really him, but the Tipton athlete is trying to get back on his heels, and the other Tipton athlete working together, and that is Thomas Bentley and Nick Hardy.
These athletes are very experienced. Nick Hardy knows his way around a 5,000 metres. So they must know what they're doing with the pacemaking, but Mike Ward looks like he might have lifted it, but maybe he's getting instructions from the side as well. Dean Miller, our pacemaker aficionado, he's telling him, slow it down, speed it up. And these athletes moving through this first, but 5k has got to be patient, you've got to pace it right. So great. Where's my race? There's my race list. It was a great pacing in that heats as well. We saw him go off, but Richard Key and that paced it well through that 4k, through that 5k to take the victory. Just coming up to that Brigham 5,000 metres on Friday. Back here in the 5k, Monterey, our sponsor, well utilised injection of funds into these opens, allowing us to have great pacemakers, allowing us to give that £200 to anyone who hits an international qualifying mark. So far we'd have Strickler and Isaac Delaney in the shot put.
Mike Ward still doing a great job of pacemaking. The field hasn't really spread out much. It looks like they're all kind of tripping over each other's toes here. There hasn't been much change in position. We've got athlete 2-2, Ben Winfield, I think that might be Thomas B. there.
The 253 Thomas Bentley and Tipton Vest on just pinned on the inside as well. Be great if he can stick up the likes of Thomas Beasley and Ben Winfield. Just get a bit of a right on the coattails. He's got Hardy just behind him in his tip. Like it. They're tipped in there, isn't it? 3 vests. They're just trying to in touch in that group.
Yeah, we've also got a lot of University of Warwick in there as well. It's very different to the other races where it's been so strung out. This is quite nice to see a big group.
But like you say, Saskia, so normal scenes on a Wednesday night, Birmingham track. This is around about when the biggest session of the week goes on. So University of Warwick just coming to crash the party. Not and you can see that third and final Tipton Vest, 338. Looking to get his way, Jonathan Carter just trying to get on the back, join his teammates, Nick Hardy. Out there.
Mike Ward doing a great job there. I wonder how
so through 2k there, round about 5:59, 6 minutes. So that's 15-minute pace. So 3-minute kilometres. It's fantastic running off these men. Set by Mike Ward. Mike Ward, I wonder how far he can make it in 3-minute Ks. Great to see him go 3k. Maybe.
So only one athlete in this field has gone under. So at the moment they're on for 14:59 if they keep this up. So it would be great to see a few of them, possibly if they can speed this up, which we've seen in previous races.
Jones, the University of Warwick, looking really keen. It's great to see Ben Winfield, Tom Jones, looking really well in that second group. You've got to hold your nerve at this point because you're going to be tired. It's going to feel difficult.
3k.
Saskia Miller just swallowing a fly. it's hard to run. It's hard to run a 5k and talk if you swallow a fly. Right, those 3 University of Warwick athletes: Tom Jones, Vincenzo Pratley. They've got Tom Beasley there in the black of Birchfield Harriers.
These just behind is the 2 Tipton athletes working side by side, still looking very good. We've got Nick Hardy and Thomas Bentley.
And Richard DeCamp wearing his Gloucester vest down there. He's working hard with the 2 Tipton vests. Can Birchfield down the track. This is a crucial moment here in the 5k. We're in the 3rd kilometre. Is this going to break into 2 different groups? Are the University of Warwick athletes going to work together? Is Tom Beasley of Birchfield managed to hang with them? I think we'll get a 3 kilometre split next to the finish line. So clock on 8:10 at the minute. So they here in around about 9-minute pace, maybe a little bit underneath. So just trying to edge towards that 50 as race. It'd be great in the final race of the.
Or so.
If they can wind up, you can still the back straight camera there just capturing Hardy and the green and white hoop there at Tipton Harriers that have lifted their and they could catch some of the athletes if they drop off this group. But 224 there, the red University of Warwick t-shirt, that is Vincenzo Pratley. Is he the man that's going to fall off this group?
And Mike Ward's bought an 8:56 there, and for sub 16 is great. Although one of the Warwick athletes, Vincenzo Pratley, he slightly just dropped off the pace there. So they go through 3K. So left to go.
It's unfortunate there to see Nick Hardy just step on mark. That lead, kind of the lead of that chase pack. Well, we can't really call it a pack now. It's just Richard and young Tipton Harrier, Thomas Bentley, the under 20 man. So those athletes trying to work hard. They've got Pratley to shoot at. He's just dropped that board, doing a really good job at keeping. Tom Beasley hasn't taken a step off Mike Ward's there. He's just staring at the, doing everything he can to live with the BUAC athletes. 400 metres.
Got a mile left. So Jones of Warwick, the under 20 athlete, who's alongside Thomas and Ben Winfield, also of University. And Mike Ward, the pacemaker's done a great job, but he's just dropped out. So they're now left to their own devices.
So Tom Beasley, was he on his limit? They both look good. Tom Beasley and which one is it? Tom working well together. Ben Wingfield there, just that group. Vincenzo Pratley's dropped off, but Richard de Camps isn't really making much inroads into that fourth position. So this could be the way we'd see the places stay.
It actually looks like Tom Beasley's just picked it up a bit there. He can't drop Ben Winfield.
So 3 to go this time for Tom Beasley and Jones. Can they work together with 3 laps to go? We haven't seen Tom Jones anywhere near the front yet. He's just bided his time there. But he is only an under 20. He will not have run as many 5Ks as some of these other men. So they're coming up on the 4 kilometre split. They've 1,000 metres and 100 metres to go. So we'll get that 4K split. Anything around about that would be 15-minute pace, and they look like it's well under that. 11:45 on the clock now.
They've definitely picked up the pace here. To be honest, I think the best way to run 5K, but who knows. So they've gone through an 11. That's pace for 5K. So they've got time to work with here, though they do have a K left, and this
their pace is really well. It was also a 3-minute first K, 3-minute second K. There may be a 2:56. I think that was a 2:58, but without the pacemaker, you could expect the pace to drop when the pacemaker stepped aside. Mike Ward job. If these two can it's really very hard to run 3-minute kilometres when you're tired. These two, if they run another 3-minute kilometre, they could be well underneath the 15-minute mark.
800 metres now, not far, but they've gone through in 12:30. 800 metres to go. Coming through the line now, we've got Ben Winfield of University of Warwick. Closely 50 metres. We've got Pratley, the other, has actually just been over. Richard of Gloucester, who's got a PB of 15:06, which he's actually done this season.
Jonathan is hard to get himself back. Richard Camp's just swinging past Vincenzo Pratley. Just there's a big battle going. It would be 4th, 5th, and 6th, and at the moment it's looking like a great charge from Jonathan Carter at Tipton. He's paced that really well. What is going to happen between Tom Jones and Thomas Beasley? They're coming around with 500 metres to go. Thomas Beasley has been at the front of the time. He was right coattails of Mike Ward. We said that a few laps ago, but Thomas Beasley, you kind of feel like he's just being a pacemaker. Jones. Tom Jones looks relaxed. They move through to take the bell. It's going to be a burn up between these two.
31, they've just gone through that bell in, and it's definitely looking on for sub 15 minutes, which will be PBs for both of them.
Ben Wingfield just taking the bell there in 13. Looks like he's lifted his pace. He'll be on for a good time. He's got 15:09 listed. That would be agonisingly close. Perhaps that's why he's kicking hard and he's chasing. It's a strong run from Tipton Harrier, Jonathan Carter. He's got himself ahead of Richard de Camps, and there. But the leaders are 200 metres to go.
And it's Beasley who's still in the lead, and he looks like he's just picked it up again ahead of Tom Jones. And oh my goodness, Beasley has really gone for it. He's already got maybe a 5 metre lead. It's grown nearly 10 now. He's going for a big sprint finish for home. Tom Jones still looking 100 metres to go. He's got a PB of 15. Going to go. He's run that 40 now, and it looks like he's going to run 46. That's a massive PB. And now he's got a season's best of 14:45. So he's slightly off that, but a great run for both of them, working together well. And just coming up, just about to come through, we've got Ben Winfield, the other University of Warwick athlete, 15:08. It looks like he might have just PB, but it's close.
That we saw Ben dig deep at the bell, and I think he might have been rewarded by a 1 second pace. Go for the minor places here. I feel like it was a bit of a rough patch from Bentley at Tipton Harriers a few laps ago, but he's rallied superbly well to hold off all those athletes charging.
And now we've got the Brian McKeamy of